Good evening. This is the Town of Barnstable Waterways Committee meeting for Tuesday, the 26th of August, 2025. For the Town of Barnstable, we have Deputy Harbor Master Jay Horn, Administrative Assistant Polly Plachinsky, and board members Greg Egan, Jacob Angelo, and myself, Paul Everson. And before we get going, I have to advise that this meeting is being recorded, broadcast on Channel 18 in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. I must inquire if anybody is taping or recording this meeting. If so, please make their presence known to the chair. And on our agenda, we will start. We have the meeting minutes for July 22nd. Has everybody had a chance to review those? And if you have, entertain a motion to accept as written.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
All right, thanks, Jake.
Second.
All right, thank you, Greg. Okay, next up, we have the applicant is Sandy Neck Lighthouse Trust, Kenneth G. Morton, trustee. The project location is 373 Sandy Neck Road, Barnstable, map 338, parcel 001. Mr. Dan Ojala, representing them from Down Cape Engineering. The proposed project is to reconstruct a licensed wood groin repairs, reconstruction, to include adding, replacing piles, replacing horizontal boards with vertical tongue and groove sheathing. We have Mr. Ojala present. Go ahead, sir.
Sure. Good evening, Chair, members of the Commission. For the record, Dan Ojala, I'm a surveyor and a civil engineer with Down Cape Engineering in Yarmouthport. And we're helping Ken Morton, who's the current trustee of that historic lighthouse structure out on Sandy Neck, with just some basic permitting of the existing groins that are there. A number of years back, we did have permission to redo the groins. But the funds and the timing weren't right, so he held off. So we're renewing those permits, I think, so it's basically in the exact same footprint. Jay has brought up the two on the right of the screen there. They're basically the old style sand catchers. You can see the littoral drift is a little bit west to east with the prevailing winds, and it builds up on the west side and it cuts in a little on the right side. There was a bulkhead that was permitted to be restored, and that was restored, but the groins weren't. And so, in keeping with what's out there, we're basically replacing them in kind. It's no longer no further seaward than what's there now. Um, some of them are broken off and are shallow submerged at high tide. So the tops of these will stick up a little higher, so they'll be visible at high tide, which I think is a nice safety bonus, not having them just below the grade, which, again, there's not much traffic here because it's hard against the beach, but a wayward person might catch on it if they weren't being careful. So we think that's a little bit of an improvement, but basically exactly the same footprint, in-kind replacement, just updating the materials and raising the piles up just a touch. Conservation is pretty well received. Shellfish was okay. We're going to use alterna mats to help protect any shellfish. And there's some time of year restrictions for, I believe, horseshoe crabs and piping plovers that we're going to work around. But other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape. Hopefully, I think Jay had given an initial sort of okay to the Conservation Commission, which was helpful. But be glad to answer any questions you have on it.
Okay, sir, thank you. Questions from committee members?
I don't have any questions, but I think it's a pretty easy yes for me.
Okay, thanks, Jacob. And Greg?
No questions.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it's being basically, as you said, in the same spot, same place. I'm good with it as well. So I'll entertain a motion to accept as proposed.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All set. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your time very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Next up, we have the NOI for, just grab it back on my phone. Applicant is 48 Starboard LLC, the project location 48 Starboard Lane in Osterville. John O'Day Sullivan Engineering Consulting is presenting the project to replace existing pier and boathouse with proposed addition of a ramp and a float. Do we have Mr. O'Day? Okay. Jay, yeah, thank you. I was just going to say, let's zoom in on this and let's get the harbor master's input. What's the
This property, Jay Horn, sorry, mooring officer. This property is located in the Bumps River off the Centerville River, Starboard Lane, as mentioned in the NOI. This applicant happens to own both of these parcels. They're both number 48. He has a dock here on your port side as you enter the river. And then there's another structure up here on this parcel, which is a boathouse and a pier. It looks like it's a boathouse built on a pier. I have not done a site visit at this point. Recently just got the plans. There is a section of pier in front of the boathouse, and I will pull up the plans for you, but they're basically looking to go out another 26 feet into the river here, which is not ideal. We had some concerns already from the neighbors who have emailed the department about the way that the particular pier is imposed, because it's kind of on an angle towards the neighbor here at 94. And they want to go out another 26 feet. It kind of puts this float, and I don't know what they have for a vessel. I didn't see a vessel in the plans, but it kind of puts it right in the middle of this channel here. And I can just do a quick measurement for you guys so you can get a little visual.
Yeah, thank you.
Visualization here. There's 26 feet.
Are you able to zoom in on that at all or blow it up?
So that would be where the float would be ending at the end of the pier. And again, it doesn't take into consideration the beam of the vessel, but the neighbor is accurate in his concerns. It really does land this structure right in the middle of that channel there. This is a sandbar that comes up at low tide, and there's another boat on this house to the north here. So I can bring up the plans for the committee. I would think that Mr. that O'Day Engineering would be here tonight to talk about that.
Yeah, because on the Bumps River, there's no water on the other side. It's all on that west side of the river, the whatever channel there is.
Yeah. Can the committee see the plans now?
Yep.
So this is the existing boathouse. Their existing pier is 58 feet, which ends here where my cursor is. And then again with the ramp, 16-foot float. There's another 6x6 post on the outside of that. And then the unknown beam of the vessel, we're, at least over 30 something feet here. 34 feet or something if it's a standard 8-foot beam. I know you can't get a very large vessel into this river, but the beam length, the beam width around these 20 footers is close to 8 feet, somewhere in that vicinity.
Okay. Um, I would suggest we just table this till next month. You can reach back out to Mr. O'Day and give him a shot to present it again. But I think I have a few questions about this as well. So is the committee all okay with that? We just continue this when Mr. O'Day is available and the owner has representation on the project?
I agree, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
That's good, man.
All right. Thanks, Jacob. Okay, so we're going to just continue this to next month. And if you would, Jay or Paulie, just reach out to Mr. O'Day's office and advise them that we've suspended this proposal and we'd like to see him at the next meeting for it. Okay, next we have no mooring appeals. Mooring wait list, Jay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jay Horn again, mooring officer. I presented some data to the committee a few months back about the wait list and the individuals who are passing. Not going to get into that again tonight. Just want to let the public know that we're coming up on mooring renewal season. At some point in October, early November, the Harbor Master Office is going to send out a letter to the individuals who currently hold a wait list position. We are going to ask them nicely to look at the wait list that they are assigned to and evaluate if they, are interested in taking a mooring at some point. And we're going to ask these individuals that if they don't foresee themselves taking a mooring in the particular wait list that they're assigned to, that they just don't renew it for 2026. And that's going to be the first step, and then we'll go from there. We'll present the information again to the committee next year. I'm still collecting data, and we'll revisit this topic then.
Okay, thank you. And the mooring renewal season, you have any other comments on that?
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just have made a preliminary suggestion to Harbor Master Taylor about the renewal season, the deadlines, and the time in which we do it. There's a initial discussion about changing this so that it would start in October 1st and it would end January 1st. If this were to go through, obviously there would be plenty of time for the public to comment on that. It would be presented to the waterways. It's going to be years down the road with the timing of it because it would be a regulation change. And the thought here is that if we start renewal season on October 1st, when the summer's wrapping up, that we can be done with it by January 1st. And what this will allow me to do is get a jump start on the offerings. It's a very long process to move these individuals from the wait list and deal with the appeals of people who didn't renew on time. I feel like this is better suited for the middle of the winter when I have the time to do this. And that way, when I get into the summer, I can concentrate more on my deputy harbor master duties and making sure that my mooring fields are okay, doing my compliance, my GIS. Would just alleviate a lot of the pressure that we have here in the office because we do everything January 1st. We have our sandy neck permits, our shellfish licenses, dog licenses, our slip contracts. So it really taxes the front office. It's a lot of work and a lot of information coming in at once. So the idea would be to kind of shift the renewal season again to October 1st, end it by January 1st, and have the rest of the winter to deal with the appeals and all the offerings that we have to do.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jay. Next, we have on new business, we have a request to develop a new scallop propagation area in Hyannisport. Jay, you're going to speak to that as well?
Yes, sir. Let me just open up my GIS map for you guys. I'm not a scallop expert. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. There's been a lot of public demand for recreational scallops in Barnstable. The shellfish team has done a lot of research on it, and what they're proposing is a 75-foot long line scallop uh, propagation area, if you will. It's going to be held in place with two helical anchors. They're going to support this 75-foot line with a series of yellow polyballs. And there's going to be nets that hang from them that are weighted. They're going to grow their scallops in there. It's just an experimental project at this time to see if it's feasible, to see if it makes sense. So they were initially asking to go inside of the mooring field in Hyannis where they have the right water depth to do this. And after some discussion, I advise them that's probably not a great area with our vessel traffic. We did some water soundings outside the breakwater in an area where we basically have no vessel traffic. And this is the area that we came up with. So they're looking for any concerns from the committee on putting this out there. Again, 75 feet in length. There's going to be 5 brightly marked yellow polyballs that mark the beginning and the end of it. It's going to be in close proximity to the breakwater itself. I don't have any issues with navigation. I support them, but I'll turn it over to the committee at this point, and I'll answer any questions the best I can.
Okay, I see in the letter that it's been submitted, they want to start this basically between Labor Day and Memorial Day.
The timing isn't solidified yet. Basically, they can't do it over the winter. The scallops are going to have to come in over the winter. They don't grow. There's some discussion about where they're going to put them. They do need to remain in the water. They're probably going to go in one of our empty slips at Gateway Marina for the course of the winter. And yeah, they're going to be coming out in the spring and be grown through the summer months and then come out for the winter.
Okay, so the plan would then, how long would they take to mature? And then I take it they're gonna take them and just introduce them back into the wild or back into the areas where it's been traditional scalloping or used to be traditional off Calumet?
Yeah, that's correct. From what I was told, it takes 2 years to get them to maturity, and they're for recreational use only. And from what I was told, they're going to be placed off of Calumet Beach, where historically there has been some scallops.
Okay. Any questions, committee members?
So I have a question if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
go Jacob.
So to be clear, this is gonna be here in the summertime.
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. If they want to, I think they want to start. I don't know if they want to start this fall for their first year. But yeah, ideally they'd like to have them out throughout the summer to extend their growing season.
Well, and I worry about the scallops getting beat up on a southwest wind there, like jeopardizing the entire project. Are you sure there's not possibly a spot inside that along the, maybe this even a little bit closer that, it's a 74 foot or 75 feet, which is basically a little bit bigger than some of those sailboats. So I really just worry about the location for something like this is very important and, and they'll get banged up pretty good in southwest winds there.
That's correct. There's a lot of parameters and things that I don't understand. What I do understand is the way that they have to have these tested and distributed is that they can't change the body of water which they're grown in. So it's not possible to grow them in Cape Cod Bay, for instance, and then throw them out at Calmus without doing a series of additional tests. It would make it a lot more complicated. I did propose this area over here which doesn't have a lot of navigation, and there is a channel here with some deeper water. But unfortunately, it doesn't meet the depth requirements that they need to put these nets, to hang these nets from the line. We talked about this, Jacob, about the elements and being outside the breakwater. It's not ideal,
Mm.
but I just can't foresee the committee approving this outside of the mooring field. There's a lot of navigation in there at night. It's not like a fish weir. I don't think people would get injured if they ran over it, but it is a hazard to navigation in the sense that it's going to foul your propeller, and you're going to lose your engine. And I just think it's not appropriate to put outside of the Hyannisport mooring field. I think there'd be a lot of backlash from the mooring permit holders, and concerns for safety at night for this structure being run over. So she's willing to take the risk on the outside. They're going to be weighted down. They're going to be underneath the sea level. I really I can't comment on that. I don't have any experience with it, but it is experimental, and she's going to try it. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, they'll pivot and make a new plan.
Could you show me where the other alternative is? Because I don't think that's a good idea at all, and I think it's a big waste of taxpayer money and the department's time to put to be forced outside there, like right up against the break wall on the inside. Even at night, somebody's got to be in there cautious. They know they're by the break wall. Maybe put it by the light. Maybe put extra buoys on it with reflectors on it, but anyone that's really navigating that close in there at night is probably fishing or something and knows what they're doing.
Well,
You could,
there's a couple issues here. You wouldn't believe this, but there's a bylaw that allows water skiing next to this breakwater. It was put in place by the Kennedys years ago. It's the only structure that I know of where you're allowed to operate above idle speed within 150 feet of a structure. So you are in the town bylaws, you are literally allowed to water ski in this area to begin with. Additionally, a lot of vessels come in here. We have the Bay Spirit that comes in for its tours, and they pull right up inside this breakwater to get as close as they can to the Kennedy compound. Numerous vessels are coming in and out of here all day long, accessing their moorings. It's kind of like an additional fairway to the Hyannisport Yacht Club. It's how a lot of individuals access this north side or the south side of the mooring field, excuse me. So again, over here really isn't an option for navigation, even if it was outside the mooring field.
could
I
you show
feel
me
like,
though where? Can you show me where the other option was, just so I have an idea?
yeah, the other option was
No,
this
no,
is
no. Against the break, where would Liz want it if she had the choice? Where did she want it initially?
they wanted to go up against the breakwater here.
I
um,
I
without
think that
understanding the navigational concerns for it. She wanted to be inside the breakwater where she had the right depth of water, which is kind of on the outside of the mooring field.
could you
She
move it
wants
towards
15 feet of water. Minimum she can do it in is 10 feet.
Could you move it towards the end? I mean, where your cursor is, if it was right there, look like that, if it was right there, like how could it be a hazard? They can totally fit in there. That's 100 yards or something, between that northern boat.
Mr. Chairman,
So again, a lot of navigation in here, a lot of vessel traffic. It's a water skiing area. Our cruise ships come in here from Hyannis to do their sunset cruises. I suggested out of this fairway and outside of the mooring field, but again, it's not ideal for navigation. I don't think the Waterways Committee would approve that next to a mooring field. Um,
Okay, what's the
wanted-
depth? What's the depth up at the old rail pier there, up at Old Colony? Would
Are you
used to
talking about
call.
this area here?
Yeah, yeah. Have you done any
That
soundings up there?
we just did soundings this morning, and on a minus tide, it's not going to work. It's barely on the limit right now. We have 9.5 feet in there this morning, and
Mhm.
her bare minimum is 10 feet. She really wants to be at 15, and we were at a +6 tide today, 0.6 tide. So not a great area. I do have some navigation in there. There's the Estes Ave mooring field. We have the windsurfers, the kiteboarders kayakers coming out of here. It's better than the breakwater, but unfortunately it doesn't meet her depth requirements.
I think that there's way more jet skis and everything out in the middle there. Like I agree. I don't think that a lot of people are jet skiing or ski, getting towed behind a boat right up along the. That would be dangerous, And you take a turn, you take a turn to the right and you go out to the left. I mean, I personally don't see a navigational problem with a 75-foot town investment, for the recreational scallop fishery. If it's marked properly and it's tight against the thing, it seems out of the way to me. It'd be like adding another mooring.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, hi. Jacob's points notwithstanding, this is the Waterways Committee, not the Shellfish Committee. And it's not our job to decide where an applicant puts the scallop farm. So I was pleased to see that it was moved outside the breakwater, because I would be definitely in opposition to it inside the breakwater based on the material we received before the meeting. So having it outside is absolutely required. I agree with everything that Jay said, Deputy Harbor Master. People boat all along that breakwater on the inside, including the youth sailing through the yacht club, as well as the water skiing and navigating and fishing and the tour boats and everything. So from my perspective, it's a non-starter to have that inside. I would even I don't think it's a problem where it's proposed on this drawing right here, but I'd even would maybe suggest an outreach to the Hyannisport sailing program to see if they do use that area. I don't think they do, but they very well could. And I just think relative to communication and cooperation on a shared water sheet, that it might be a prudent outreach or at least a courtesy to them. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I can appreciate Jacob's concern that if it goes out there and it's getting battered by 3, 4, 5 footers, the whole project could come to an end. But on the flip side of that, on the inside, it is traditional as the fairway with the deep water up right along there. Several of the large sailboats do get in there to moor up to turn up to moor. So have they, for Jay, have they looked at any other parts of the town, North Bay or any of these other spots where, for instance, off the Narrows and the cow yards there, I know of a 20-foot hole there. It's off the channel. You have shellfish propagation all along the Narrows there. Something like that. Or do they specifically want to be close to Calmus where,
Yeah, again, because of the testing and the regulation with this, and I'm not an expert, so don't quote me. But what she did tell me is it has to be grown in the same body of water that it is distributed in. Because that was my suggestion. Like Cape Cod Bay, we got a lot of deep water. There's a lot of better areas where we could do this. But because they want to bring back this population at Calmus, has something to do with the eelgrass as well. They need to be grown in Lewis Bay so they can be distributed in Lewis Bay.
okay.
Even
Well,
at the tip right there, could you draw a little 75-foot line at the tip just to entertain me, just to see what it looks like? Because it looks like a lot of space. It's well marked. It's 75 feet. It's small. It's like two boats. It doesn't swing. It's anchored on both ends, and it can be tucked right against the jetty. But I really have you know, regardless of what this committee is for, I'm telling you the truth that they're not going to have a good time there at all. And it's taxpayer money. It's all of our money that lives in the town, and we have to pay for the equipment, the seed, and the staff and their time that's taken away from other things that they propagate. I have a really bad feeling about it going in where, in a spot that isn't suitable for the scallops. And
Yeah,
as far
again, I think that's a concert, that's a conversation for the Shellfish Committee. I don't get into that. It's not in my purview. I'm here to talk about navigation. This was discussed in length with, everyone on the Harbor Master Division in terms of placement. We want to do everything we can to support you guys. I work closely with all these individuals in the Shellfish Department. I do anything I can to help them. But this particular area, it's just not suitable once we get inside the breakwater. And, if one of these helicals lets go and now it's not parallel with the jetty anymore and it's drifting out into the field, I have major concerns about the vessel traffic in there and, what that would do to a vessel and how it would hinder the navigation in that area.
Okay, so as it stands right now, they're planning on going, at your recommendation, on the outside of the breakwater in that area you described right there.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, yeah, and if things have to change in the future, if they find that that is not suitable and they want to come up with another spot, yeah, we'll certainly entertain that too. But so is this just an advisor, or are they looking for our endorsement of this?
I don't think it needs to officially be voted on. It's just information basis. Obviously, if it was going to be inside the mooring field, it's just an opportunity for you guys to express your concerns for any navigation. And then again, we'll make a decision internally and see if it makes sense.
Right, navigation on the backside, my experience on the backs, not the backside, the front side of the breakwater. Once you get up to the bend, everything just about ends right there. Nobody really goes in further, to speak of. So that would be at the end of that. So,
And I just want to say that I heard Mr. Egan's concern. I work closely with the Hyannisport Yacht Club all summer, so I will talk to Jen and the Commodore, and we'll make sure that they're okay with it and it doesn't affect their sailing program.
okay. All right, let's see. What else do we have on the agenda? Harbor Master report?
Yeah, we're gonna keep it short for everyone tonight. It was a busy season. We're all excited about the end of it. We're still doing our patrols out there. We've increased our patrols in Hyannis this year and throughout the town. We've done a lot of 8:30 shifts every weekend. We've also have been doing some night patrols out there till 10:30 at night. We're excited for the fall and getting a little relief around here. We still have calls to service coming in. We had 2 come in today, vessel broken down in Lewis Bay. Another report of a drift vessel in Cape Cod Bay. We don't have as many good Samaritans on the water this year, so it does require some more action from us when these calls do come in. And we're all looking forward for a little downtime. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time, gentlemen.
Thanks, Jay. And I just want to add quickly, or ask quickly, did we sustain any damage on the north side to any of our structures due to the passing hurricane?
I didn't get any reports. No, it was very mild. No reports of any vessels breaking free. We had a little bit of storm surge, but I think the Cape got lucky on this last storm for sure.
Right. Okay, thank you.
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Jacob.
Did you guys find anything during those night, going around at night? Do you guys find anything?
I wouldn't say we find anything. It's just having the presence out there. We get a lot of speeding complaints in the after hours. The public historically knew we were only out there till 4:30. We would get a lot of complaints coming in after that, and we wouldn't have a vessel on the water. So the 6:30 started helping the last few years, and the 8:30 helps even more now. More importantly, it's great for my boys to train. to operate our equipment at night. We have flare, we have night vision capabilities now. So it's just good navigational practices for when those night calls do come in, that we're familiar with all the features on our boat and we can safely navigate and help the public.
Yeah, this is Greg. I just would commend the department this year. The increased presence is notable by a lot of people. I've heard it, and it's been a long season for you guys, and well done. So thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, thanks, everybody. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion so moved.
Thanks,
A
Greg.
second.
Thanks, Jacob. Okay, so we're next back up on the 23rd of September. So everybody enjoy the Labor Day weekend. Everybody be safe, and we'll see you then.